Good afternoon and welcome to Sports of the Day. You all inevitably remember my quarterback, Kerry Collins, with the Los Angeles Life. He was not a good player. He was inaccurate, he was slow, and let me tell you, he had a weak arm. Three things you don't want in a football player. So I'm going to trade him, and I want somebody who can run because my offensive line tends to break down a lot. So I was looking at any of the running quarterbacks. There are really only 3 or 4 in the game. McNabb, McNair, Brunell, and of course the rookie Mike Vick out of Atlanta. I wanted McNabb, they wouldn't get it, but the Falcons were interested in getting rid of Michael Vick. Only stipulation, we needed to put in a first-round draft pick. You might think, oh, Joe, what are you doing getting rid of the future there? But let me tell you, I got an ulterior motive to this series that might not do so well for the future of the LA Life, let me tell you that. We are playing in St. Louis, that's right, the Edward James Dome, which is filled to capacity, possibly for the only time in its existence, certainly for the only couple of years in its existence, with the Rams, the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and let me tell you, Marshall Faulk, first play from scrimmage, he's going to go ahead and fumble. Defense recovers, and we get the ball to start this game out. Vick's first place from scrimmage is a handoff, so it doesn't really matter. Penalty, of course, there too, so really not all that important. Loss of 2 becomes loss of 10. And let me tell you about our offensive line, it's not great. Second play is a pass. His first pass is an incompletion. His second pass, also an incompletion. And then his third pass, let me tell you, also an incompletion. So Vick's not getting started out that well. And the field goal kicker here, Holmes, well, he's not doing too hot either. To his credit, he does get it in the end zone, but not that much further. So that's still 0-0 at the end of our first drive. And the Rams are just, they're a good offense, and they're just picking apart what was a pretty decent defense of the Giants. They get all the way up to the 26th there on a pass from Kurt Warner, and though I call this a good defense, look at the amount of time we give Kurt Warner here. 16.23 seconds. To find Ricky Prohl, and I mean, of course you're going to find somebody with that amount of time. Here, it's incomplete, but it doesn't really matter because the next play is a handoff to the Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, who does get into the end zone for the touchdown. It's 7-0. The St. Louis Rams have taken the lead in the first quarter, and the LA Life are struggling to respond. Vick's fourth pass is incomplete, and of course the handoff here kind of, went for about 2 yards, but doesn't really matter. So that's another holding penalty. The second of the game, on the second, third, and out of the game, then Vick gets sacked. Really my fault, I couldn't find a receiver. And then there, what do you know, another incompletion. So I think that's 5 straight to start out his game. Not just to start out the game, start out the career as well for Michael Vick. Meanwhile, Kurt Warner doing a pretty decent job. At this point, I did switch to the nickel formation in my defense. I was running a 3-4. And I was able to actually, pressure Kurt Warner into some bad throws. And here we have another holding call. It's 3 drives, 3 penalties, 3 holdings by our offensive line. That's his first completion. It's to Tiki Barber out of the backfield for 1 yard. And, another incompletion. Triple coverage, but really where else was I supposed to go? So that's 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs, 3 holding penalties on all of them. Which, again, I was talking about how bad my offensive line is. That's one example of it. The Rams pin us pretty deep here on the good punt. Vick's looking here. I make a couple of audibles, and I think, what are rookie quarterbacks good at? Well, I think back to Brett Favre. His first touchdown, I believe, was on a go route, and so I just say, hey, let's throw go routes. He actually gets it to Joe Jurevicius there, who drops it, as Joe Jurevicius is wont to do. I get the first down of Mike Vick's career, and of the game, well, career as a member of the LA Life. And then his first down completion to Ike Hillard there on the go route. Of course, Ike's got the speed that you really need to get those go route plays working. Get to 3rd and 2. I'm going to try to throw. That was a bad throw on my part. So what do? I punt, right? Wrong. Nobody's even surprised anymore that I go for the fake punt because I go for it all the time. I'm sure Campbell's actually the league leader in 3-yard runs on a 4th down. Barber does get it on 3rd and 2. Tiki had a pretty decent game. He was going, not a great game, I think around 40 yards. We overthrow Amani Toomer, but I would like to point out that I just overthrew somebody about 40 yards away. That's pretty impressive. Here's the one of the better things about having Mike Vick is that he can get upfield, something that Kerry Collins could never do. Another thing is deliver the ball to Ike Hilliard in the end zone like that. That's about a 40-yard spike for the 30-yard spike for the touchdown. And we tie this game up with the St. Louis Rams. A damn good team, those Rams, not the defending champion. Defending champion 1 year removed, of course, the Life, or in this case the Giants, really, are 1 year removed from NFC champions. So it's a pretty decent match of Titans here in the NFC. Vic can't get the first down on third down, but guess who does? That's right, baby, Kamela, making something good out of his time. Here I'm thinking we got the quintessential LA Life play, that route out of the backfield to Tiki, who probably fumbles, and Kamela does trip him up, which to his credit, hey, that's another good thing on you. Greg, right? Greg, I don't care. As I was saying, we were pressuring Kurt Warner, and it was getting to him, and it was working, as shown here, as he throws an interception. Not too many picks by Kurt Warner in 2001. We were able to get him to throw one. So here we go, we got the ball, we got the lead, and we got Mike Vick. And he's got an arm, but Toomer can't get to it. Tiki, nowhere, really. Then on third down, I'm just trying to make anything happen, and oh baby, I believe that is the third time I find Ike Hilliard. 51 yards this time on the go route. Mike Marks freeze frames in anger. It's first and goal. And I'm trying to run it. I think they've kind of caught on to the whole I'm going to run the ball with Mike Vick play. Joe Jurevicius, not able to get to that, but to my credit, threw it to him. Double coverage. I thought he had a lane to the end zone here. He really didn't. And so, we have to kick the field goal. I wasn't really feeling like the Riverboat Gambler type. And you know what? It comes in handy later for a little foreshadowing. Now, I get another pick on Kurt Warner here, like I was saying with the nickel. I do a little impromptu faux playmaker mode, Madden 2004. Of course, it was years before that, so it's basically I just mess around, see if I can get the blocker to block somebody for a change. Tiki's making a good job, or doing a good job, not really making a good job. He gets 3 consecutive plays, gains of yards, 2 catches, 1 run. Then I go to Joe Jurevicius. You see I'm making some progress, getting it to players, getting it to specific players. 2 catches in a row by Joe Jurevicius. And let me tell you, nearly a third here in the back of the end zone. He does catch it to his credit. Couldn't get both feet in bounds, unfortunately. Not that big of a deal, though, because on the next play, the rookie out of Vatek, finding Niamani Toomer, who was probably 6th year in the league, out of Michigan. I don't know why I know that, but he scores. But we got a 10-point lead over the St. Louis Rams, baby, over the greatest show on turf. But they call them that for a reason, and that reason is not this play. That's a 9-yard gain. That's decent. That reason is this play. It's not this play. I just keep forgetting what I'm doing. He overthrows him, and this play, however, he finds Isaac Bruce, and that is a touchdown. I believe that is a new record. So we had a record set and a record broken and a reset. That's time 2 out of 3 in this game for a little more foreshadowing. Now Tiki's doing a decent job. He's getting the ball upfield. 3rd and 1, I give it back to him, and he gets the first down. We're kind of milking the clock, at least trying to milk the clock. Tiki having a good game. And to his credit, he hasn't had a lot of great games this season. So it's good to actually see him getting some yardage, I guess. Mike Vick on the run, another holding, and we've had 4 holding penalties on the O-line from 4 different members. So that's like catastrophic. That's across the board. That's consistency in how bad we are on the offensive line. Really just trying to make anything happen with the audibles here. I should have run the ball, honestly. I thought I had something good going with Ike Hilliard. I really didn't on that play, and so I am forced to punt. And the more important thing here is that I leave the Rams with 2 timeouts as opposed to just 1. And that'll come into play later. Again, more foreshadowing. I'm just foreshadowing out the ass here. Kurt's going to overthrow a man, then overthrow another man, then here, guess what? Well, he doesn't actually overthrow him. That's pretty decent deflection there by the cornerback. Don't know who that is. And then another overthrown ball. And I thought, honestly, that was a scary play, because if Torrey Holt gets up and gets that, that's a touchdown, and I don't think we're able to really recover from that. Tiki Barber staying on his feet, doing a good job at milking the clock, not really getting anywhere with it. I do run on 3rd down here, and they're out of timeouts at this point. So with about 20, I think 25 seconds left or so, I do punt the ball to St. Louis, and I'm feeling pretty good. 25 seconds. I mean, though it is the Rams, it is Mike Martz and the greatest show on turf and whatever. Allen face planting right there in an attempt to stop the ball. Valiant effort that goes really nowhere. We do pin him back to the 2-yard line, so they got 98 yards to go. This is Madden 02, and this is the Rams. So anything is possible. And Warner finds Wynn, who gets past his man, and he's going to go. If it weren't for White Lightning, Jason Sehorn making the stop, 82 yards, new record for the longest pass, does not matter in the end though, as I win 17-14, avoiding the classic LA Life collapse that you've seen so many times. And I get the win, we get the win, me and these digital humans in the Edward James Dome in St. Louis, Missouri, and we head back home for the next week. I don't actually know if we head back home for the next week, but that is good. 4-2 on the season is the record, and thank you guys for watching. As always, have a good evening. Thanks.